Now calm is returning to the Gambian fishing village of Sanyang, over 40 miles southwest of the capital Banjul, and the scene of riots yesterday. The disturbances erupted after the alleged murder of a local man by a Senegalese national. Police then descended on the scene using tear gas to disperse angry villagers protesting the killing of the resident. In the melee, a police station and a Chinese fish meal factory were burnt down. But the journalist Omar Wali in Banjul has been telling me more.
According to the police spokesperson, a Senegalese national working for a Chinese fish meal factory in Sanyang walked into a private property to rob a white man. And during the process, the foreign national shouted for help, and two Gambians, his neighbors and his brother, walked in to help the white man. And during the process, the suspected armed robber tried to free himself, and he stabbed one Jibril Sise, who later died. But the villagers came in, they arrested the man. He was beaten up, later handed over to the police. But when they later found out that Jibril Sise died as a result of the stabbing by this Senegalese national, the villagers stormed the police station. They asked the police to release the man to do a mob justice. So the police relocated the suspect to a safe place, and the villagers were not happy with that. They set the police station on fire, and they also moved to a fish meal factory where the man was working, and they also set that factory also on blaze, destroying cars, excavators, and many valuable belongings to the Chinese nationals.
And the police were brought in to disperse the violence?
Yes, because the police at Sanyang could not contain the situation, so the police had to deploy forces to the area to contain the situation. So as we speak now, there is normalcy. Peace has been restored in the area now.
Now, you talked about an attack on a fish meal plant. Why would the mob want to do that?
Well, within a 14-mile radius, there are 3 fish meal factories, one in Sanyang, one in Gunjur, and in Katong. And for a very long time, the villagers of these 3 villages said they were not consulted when these Chinese were issued license to operate. So for the fact that that happened, and they said the factories have been polluting their environment, they decided to take laws into their own hands, because the government, as they said, did not listen to them. So for a very long time, they organized peaceful protests. They took the matter to the court, but nothing came out of it. So the fact that these suspects worked for the factory, they decided to walk in there and burn down one of the fish meal factories in Sanyang.
As you mentioned, the fish meal factories aren't located just in Sanyang, they're right across the country. Has that become a focal point of anger for ordinary Gambians? Because you've been speaking to people out on the streets and they've not been very happy with the government's deals, as it were, with the Chinese officials and companies that come and fish in the Gambia.
Yes, so there have been a lot of discontent among people, even those who are not from that area, because they feel that the government neglected the people of Sanyang, Gunjur, and Katong. And this incident, they said, it's going to be a wake-up call for the authorities to look into the matter. This is the reaction of most of the people I spoke to. Let's take a listen.
The government are not doing nothing to stop this investment. In fact, they are even supporting them and giving them more protection, because the people who are living there who should benefit from that factory, if they say they don't want the factory, why will you still allow the factory to continue operating? This is what will happen if the government continue to ignore the cries of the activists.
The Gambia government are just been blatantly ignore the cries of the locals. They are telling the citizens that actually these fish meal factories have a treatment plant when they don't, throwing raw fish meal waste into this ozone. Even the locals are not swimming into the ozone anymore, much more the visitors. People visit Gambia not because we have skyscrapers. People visit Gambia for 3 things. That's the sunshine, the sun, and the sea. Now you take the sea out of it and the sun. Who is going to come to Gambia? This is what is killing our tourism even before the COVID pandemic.
And those are voices of displeasure in the Gambia on the fish meal plants across the country. And I was talking there to the journalist Omar Wali in Banjul. Music now, and Raymond Shaban.